Hello everyone, it's Amy from Soft Wind Crafting down here in chilly South Texas today. So I have gotten pretty much all my Christmas shopping done. Now it's time to work on my stocking stuffers. And one of the things that Santa used to bring when I was a child in every Christmas stocking, the Easter Bunny did the same thing. Every Easter basket we had, we always got a toothbrush. And I continued the tradition with my children, and now even though they are adults, if I forget the toothbrushes, I get asked, how come Santa didn't bring us a toothbrush this year? So this year, instead of just sticking them in the stocking per se, I am going to make a little box for them to go into, and I'm going to show you how I designed my box. It's very simple. It's not very hard. The only thing is that I do take it out of the packaging to fit in this little box. And you've probably seen these boxes. A lot of demonstrators are doing videos of making little skinny boxes to put treats in at this time of the year. And so this is just my take, and I'm going to show you how I made it to make it fit this brand of toothbrush that we get at our local grocery store. So what I did is, first of all, I measured how long the toothbrush was. And it was about not quite 8 inches. It's about like 7 3/4. But I wanted to have extra room to be able to fold over. So I wanted to leave it an inch space and then like an inch that I could kind of squish up. Okay, so there would be room for sure for the toothbrush. And I could see that the toothbrush is at its widest point's about an inch. So I knew I wanted my box to be 1 inch wide. Okay, so what I did is, let me put this toothbrush down, is I actually used a lot of my scrap paper for this, but on this box I'm going to use paper from the Elegant Pine Snowflakes bundle, which is still available on the website for Stampin' Up. Okay, so anyway, so this is the piece of paper that I took, and it is 4.5 inches wide by 10 inches long. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start by scoring this piece of paper. So let me bring out my trimmer. I hope y'all can still see. So here I'm going to start by scoring it at 1 inch. And I'm going to do this at every inch around. So let me move this out of the way. Again, make sure you use your scoring blade, not your cutting blade. So I'm going to score. Then I'm going to go over to 2 inches. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to be precise so that my folding works. Okay, so scoring, then go to 3 inches. You know, I was talking with my friends at school today about this and how I'm so nervous when I make a video here for YouTube, because I'm used to talking to 8th and 9th graders all day long. And then I get on here and now I'm at 4 inches and I get super nervous just to talk to my camera. And that's going to leave us a 1/2 inch tab that we are going to use for glue. Then I'm going to turn it on the long side, and I'm going to score it at 1 inch. So it doesn't matter which side. I don't know. I just like having my tab on a particular side. So I'm going to score it at 1 inch. Now, if you wanted to make a regular square lidded box, you could score it 1 inch at the top as well, and that will give you top tabs. I'm not going to do that. Oops, see, I almost grabbed the cutting blade and then score. All right, so now I've got my score lines. So what I want to do is I am going to cut up the score lines at the bottom. So you can't really see it, so let me just kind of fold it so you can see it a little better. I have these tab. Let me just score real quickly so you can see what I'm cutting. It's kind of hard to see. Okay, and then one more. Okay. So I'm going to cut up these score lines. and just up to the horizontal score line. So I'm making the tabs for the bottom of my box. And then this is the last one. This is going to be my glue tab. So I'm going to cut up over here. And then I'm going to come over to my tab and I'm going to cut, I'm cutting off this rectangle piece right here at the end because we don't need it. But I'm going to come in a little bit, make a little triangle so that it folds a little better on the tab. Okay. All right, so now we're ready to put the box together. Let me again, it's kind of like do my score lines with this designer series paper. It folds quite easily. Just hand crease it. You could use your bone folder, but with this I find it creases quite well by itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by taking my glue. You could use tear-in tape, you could use Seal Plus, whatever you like to use for your adhesive. I'm just going to come down the score line. Okay. And then I'm going to fold over. And now I have my box. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of poke it open. And I see here's my back. Oh, I didn't do a very good job of scoring because I ended up with a little piece of trim. So that's okay. What you do is you just take your scissors and you just trim that little piece that's sticking out away. And I must need new glasses because I'm not seeing very well where I'm cutting. Not that time of year yet, though. Okay. All right, so it's a little better. So I'm going to get rid of that. I'm just going to reinforce my lines a little bit more. Okay. Now what I want to do is that looking at this place where I have my crease, I want that to be towards the back of my box. So I'm just going to put it back here and I'll make this the front of my box. So I'm going to push in the two sides. I'm going to put some glue at the bottom. This is the back of my box. Okay, close that. Glue it up. And then this is now the front. So now I'm going to I want to and it's a little tall, so it's hard for me to stick. I don't have anything long enough to get in there. I'm trying to make sure it's glued down tightly. So there we go. So now we have the box. Now if you cut tabs, if you scored at 1 inch and you cut these, you could do the same thing. You just have a regular box. But I wanted something a little different. So this is the back of my box. Again, here's my front. I'm going to pinch it like this. I'm going to have like almost like a, not a milk crate, I don't know what you would call it, just kind of like this diagonal kind of side of box. Okay, so let me grab my punch because I want to make that top. Sorry about that. So what I'm going to use is my 2-inch circle punch because each of these sides is 1 inch. When you add them together you have 2 inches, and I wanted to have a circle punch or a punch that fit that thing. So I had a piece of cardstock out and now I can't find it, of course. Hang on, give me a second. I see it, it fell to the ground. So I'm using garden green. So you could, a lot of different colors go with this, but I'm going to use garden green. All right, so I'm going to punch a 2-inch circle. There we go. And I am going to use my trimmer again because I want to score this in half. You could just fold it over, but I'm going to lay it between the 1 inch here and the 1 inch here. And I'm going to use my scoring blade again, and I'm going to just put that in half. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and fold this in half. And I'm going to put some glue. Oh, you know what? Before I glue it shut, how about if I put my toothbrush in there? I don't want to glue it shut until I actually put the toothbrush inside the container. Sorry, I'm trying to get it open. All right, so here we go. Here is my toothbrush going in, and you can feel it. So it has a little bit of room to spare. This is the top is right here. Okay, so this is, glad I did it at 10 inches and not 9. All right, so now I'm going to put some glue on the inside of my tab that I made, but I'm going to do both sides because I'm going to glue it to both sides of my box. Okay. All right. So I'm going to push that all the way up to the top. I'm going to make sure it is centered. And I'm just going to glue that down. All right. All right, so to make a decorative label, I decided to use the Snowflake Kisses, a bundle. I'm using the dies. And the dies have this cute little snowflake pattern, but they also have this circle die that has some little snowflakes on the edges that I already cut one out. And there you go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Garden Green again. And I found I was cleaning out some of my things. We used to live in a really small cabin, and I would tend to drop things, and then I could never find them again. And this was from a couple of years ago, but about a month ago, I was moving some stuff around, and I was emptying out some boxes that I didn't need. And lo and behold, I find this die that says "For You." Now it has no numbers on it, so I have no clue as to what set it came from, but I was like, I'm going to use that because this would be perfect on this little snowflake circle. So if anybody knows what die set this came from, I'm sure it's fairly old. It's not a new one. You could let me know, and I might be able to find what die set it came from. I could put it away. So let me run this through my cut and emboss machine real quick. Okay. Go. All right, let me find my take your pick tool. So let me go ahead. Don't want that. So let me punch it out. All right, so there we go. And what I'm going to do is I am going to put some glue on the back of this. Try not to use too much glue. You don't want it squirting out everywhere. Just enough to get it to glue down. The liquid glue is really strong. So I'm just going to put that on the center. And then I'm going to put some snowflakes. So I cut out some snowflakes, and I had some old shimmer paper from Stampin' Up, and I thought this would look really pretty as snowflakes. So I cut out my little snowflakes, and now I'm going to put them on here. That's one came out. Let's get the others out. Okay. And there we go. Oops, one's still in there. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some glue and get these on the label. Okay, so there we go. And just place your snowflakes wherever you think they would look pretty. So you don't have to have a "For You" on there. You could put "Merry Christmas." You could put something like "From Santa." You can stamp it. It doesn't have to be a die. Anything you want that would make it look cute on a stocking, something that goes inside the stocking. I just kind of like putting the snowflakes just kind of like around the for you. And I'm going to add one up there, and then, oops, the end of my putty is coming off. And so I have some old twine of garden green and linen thread, and so I thought we could use that to make a cute little bow for the top. So let me pull this out, and let's see, let's make a little bow. You know, you think you have everything ready to go, and then all of a sudden you realized, oh, I was trying to clean up and I put things away that I shouldn't, that I was going to use without even thinking about it. Let me grab some glue dots. I find, excuse me, I find glue dots work best for me in terms of getting my thread, or my linen thread or my ribbon or things like that to stick better to what I'm trying to do. I've tried tape, I've tried things, and then I discovered, oh, I should be using my glue dots. Works so much better. All right, so there we go. I'm going to put that on there. And then I am going to grab some dimensionals. So, oh, this one's got the paper on the back here. All right, so what I found in this, because I'm laying it kind of flat on the box, I'm going to put one at the top of my piece, and then I'm going to put another one kind of below it, but kind of in the same area, but not too far down. Let me take off the backing. All right, so this is the front. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it right up there towards the top of my box, and so where it's kind of flattish. And there you go. You have a cute little box for a toothbrush. Whoops, that didn't go together at all. And I think it just makes a cute little box to put your toothbrushes in. If you're a toothbrush person, you could put candy in here. You can find other trinkets and things that you like to do. So here are some other ones that I made for my kids. They are, like I said, it's some old paper, but what a great way to use up your stash, okay, in order to get ready for Christmas. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope this is something you can use, and if you like this video, I hope you will click that like button. I'd be happy to have you subscribe, and if you need anything, if you need a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, just let me know. I'd happy to be your demonstrator. Thank you.